Hello, my name is Nick Harklerud, and in the next 5 minutes I will walk you through a scary realization about U.S. mass shootings. What is happening to our population? Will the numbers of victims continue to increase or decrease? You will find out all that in the coming slides. First, this presentation was completed for the Data 620 Section 9040 Spring 2018 semester at the University of Maryland University College under instruction from Dr. Carrie Beam. A few caveats and understandings before we get started. This was based on a dataset found on Kaggle called Mass Shooting Last 50 Years. The dataset has been slightly modified to include geolocations that were not previously included. 3, the visualizations were created by Tableau, out-of-the-box forecasting, and trending functionality. And 4, my motivation for doing this was to help with the recent voice and movement around mass shootings. This is a time series graph that plots the number of victims defined as fatality and injured from 1966 to 2017. Is the number increasing? Let's take a look. Tableau is forecasted with 95% confidence interval that in 2018 there will be 687 victims, and in 2022 there will be 1,209 victims. If you notice that there was a trend line that pretty much fits the data quite perfectly, and it used an exponential one because of how the data values were increasing at high rates. Although this fits very well at 99% R squared, I do question it because of the data fit. In my opinion, I'm not sure if I totally agree with Tableau's forecast because of the dramatic last 4 years, but this is showing a steady trend, so it's very hard to ignore. Let's move along. We know that 2018 and 2022 and so on has an increased forecast, which is very scary. As I mentioned, victims is defined as fatality or injured. But how do these numbers look when separated? Does it tell us anything new or different? You guessed it. No. The numbers are forecasted to increase and remain very, very scary. Let's take a look at injuries. Tableau has forecasted 537 injuries in 2018 and 1,034 injuries in 2022. That's a lot. That's nearly double in 5 years. So what does the fatalities graph show us? It continues to show an upward trend, but Tableau has forecasted a flat line because of the sporadic and spike during 2017. But a prediction of 122 have been predicted for 2018 and every year on to 2022. Again, these predictions were geared around a 95% confidence interval, and this graph uses a polynomial graph of 3 because of the high and low fluctuations in comparison to the data. It really illustrates the last 4 to 5 years playing a major role in the forecast. But what you see now is strong evidence to support such. This graphic shows from 1966 to 2017 the total number of victims is roughly 3,200 if you look to the top right. But the more important thing is the fact that 57% of that total is accounted for from 2012 to 2017. Another way to think about this is simple. 45 years have accounted for 43% of the total, while 5 years, the last 5 years, have accounted for 57. My favorite, the map, which looks at the deadliest locations in terms of number of victims per location. I've called out 4 points. Can anyone quickly guess what time period you may think they are? That's right, probably around 2011 or 2017 would be a great guess. If you look to the left, we have Las Vegas, Nevada, which had 585. Moved to Colorado, Aurora, Colorado with 82. And then Orlando, Florida, 2016, 102. Blacksburg, Virginia, 2017, 55. You'll notice the dots are different shapes and colors, calling out basically the number of victims per location. If you look up towards the Midwest, you notice there's not many very dots there, but that's interesting because what's going on there? Why is that different versus towards the bottom of California, Orlando, your Florida area, your Texas area, kind of along the East Coast? Why are there so many going on? What's different? What's making that happen? Moving along to our final visualization, which will look to analyze the incident area where these mass shootings occur. If you take a look quickly at the words, you see words that stand out like home, shopping mall, home and school, workplace. But the other interesting part is if you look deeper into the words that surround them, a lot of the words are related to school. Now, as we know, shootings can take place at all ages and it doesn't discriminate. Let's take a look what happens when we look at kids between the ages of 0 and 18. The results really start centering around high school, bus stop, computer school. School is the main thing here. Now, to sum up my presentation, I want to leave you with 4 key facts. 1. 57% of victims are accounted for between 2012 and 2017. 2. Total victims, which are injured and fatality, are forecasted to continue to increase with time. 3. Las Vegas shooting is the largest to date, 585 total victims. 4. Young kids typically are involved in school as it relates to the shooting location. This concludes my presentation.